Okay.
Okay. Now, in English, you have some of the things we call relative clauses. What the hell is this? The relative clauses are words that we use to avoid repetition or to make more sense putting two sentences together. For example, I have a sister. My sister lives in Florianopolis. Oh, that's a very ugly city. Have you ever been there?
My sister lives.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. One
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a sister. My sister lives in Florianopolis. Do you see I repeat sister, 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 sister?
Uh-huh.
So to put these two sentences together and avoid repetition, we do this. I have a sister who lives in Florianopolis. Okay?
Okay.
This, Romário, is what we call relative clause. Who lives in Florianopolis? Now, when do we need this? We need these in situations in which we have to avoid repetition in the sentence. Now, for people, as I'm talking about my sister, for people, we can use that or who. So if I say, I have a sister that lives in Florianopolis, or I have a sister who lives in Florianopolis, we have the same meaning, okay?
Okay.
Great. Now, Romário, when we talk about object, the thing is different. This is a beautiful car. I want to buy this beautiful car. Now, once again, you see that we are repeating the unnecessarily beautiful car, beautiful car, beautiful car. Okay, so to avoid this, we use a relative clause. This is the beautiful car that or which I want to buy. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Romario, do you have a brother or a sister?
Yes.
Okay.
Two brothers and two sisters.
Whoa! Do you have?
A big family.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't know if I know them. Do they live in
No.
Brasilia?
Yes. Oh, they live in Brazil, but I think you don't know.
Yeah, probably not. Do they live with you? Are they younger, older?
Older,
All of them.
all of them. I'm
Oh,
the younger.
yeah. Do you like having so many brothers and sisters?
Yes. Yes, I like. they
Oh,
they all are married, so I like now.
okay, okay. Yeah, but you know, I have one brother and one sister. I love my brother and my sister.
Yes, I love my brothers and sisters.
Yeah, nice. Okay, now, where does one of your brothers live? Tell me a place where
Yeah.
he lives.
Asa Norte.
How can you put these two sentences together in order to avoid repetition?
Uh, like I have a brother that lives in Asa Norte.
Yeah, very good. Do you have a dog?
A cat.
Do you understand the
Breedy?
breed of the cat? It's like, for dogs, it's like Pitbull, Rottweiler,
Uh-huh.
Husky. What's the breed of your cat?
No, he don't have a breed. It's from the car, or the street.
Okay. Now, how do you make how do you make these two sentences together in order to avoid repetition?
Romário has a cat that doesn't have a breed.
Yes, exactly. Very good. Is it clear for you?
Yes, no.
Okay, okay, very good. But it's not over yet. Pay attention. Pay attention to this. Okay, now look at this, dude. She is the girl that I love. Oh my. Look at this sentence and this sentence. She is the girl who has a problem. Okay, now if you look at these two sentences, four relative clauses, they have a little difference. What's the difference they have? And this is different from Portuguese and Spanish. Okay? She is the girl that I love. In this situation here, Romário, the word after the relative clause is not a verb. So in English, we can simply take it away. Okay?
Okay.
She's the girl I love. Oh my. Okay. Now this one here, you have has after who, and has is a verb. So in this situation here, Romário, we cannot delete this verb here. It has to be there. It must be there. Okay? So Romário, here's the
Okay.
thing, dude. This, you say that it's voluntary relative clause. And here, it's a mandatory case. Okay? So this is very important because I have already seen this in TOEFL Itp. After the relative clause, you need a verb or not. And in this case, it's voluntary. It's not wrong to take it away. In this case, it's mandatory. Okay?
Because it's a verb. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now, oops. Here. Yeah. Now look at this, please, dude. The ponderosa is applying. Ponderosa, probably, I have no idea. You are the Spanish guy here. The ponderosa pine is PDD of most of the timber used by forest for this frames of cut. Now, this sentence here, we don't have the case in which we need a relative clause to avoid repetition. So
Okay.
why we don't need to use letter C? Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Now, the case of as and because do not fit the sentence as well as only the source, and that's why it's letter A. Is it
Okay.
clear?
See, yes. It's
Yes,
good.
yes, yes. Do you have any questions about this?
No.
Excellent.
For now.
Letter number 2, please.
Computers that wants letter A.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Great.
Got that.
Number 3.
Letter B. What they need.
Yes, great. Number 4.
Letter C. It.
No.
Oh, no, no. Disappearance. Letter. I don't know. I don't know.
Just guess, don't worry.
No, I really don't know. Letter.
Okay.
Okay.
It,
Letter D. Letter D.
excellent. Excellent. Now check if you think it's clear for you why it's the letter D.
No, it's not clear.
Okay. Now let me take first. Let me take the option you said, which is letter C, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now because of this article, you would need a noun here. Do you understand what a noun is?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yes. So because of an article, you would need a noun here. So the sapphire's transparency to ultraviolet and infrared radiation makes it a useful, for example, a useful object in optical instruments, a useful material in optical instruments. But in here, we have no noun. So that's why we don't need, and it does not require this article here.
The article. Okay.
Okay? Okay. Let me
Mhm.
check letter A. So what makes it is of use. Yeah, this sentence wouldn't fit. Well, you didn't try letter A and B, but this sentence makes it uses. Okay. Letter A and B wouldn't fit in this sentence. And letter C
Okay.
just cannot be here because of the article.
Okay.
Okay, so makes it useful in optical instruments. Is that clear?
See, it's clear.
Okay. Number, if it isn't, Romário, you can say, okay?
Okay. Okay.
My only use here is to help you understand why you're wrong or right. Okay?
Okay.
Number
Thank
5.
you. It's it's like the relatives clauses again, or not?
I gotta be quiet.
Okay. I think it's letter B.
Okay. It's not letter B.
No.
No. Try another.
Okay. No more things. Letter C.
It's not letter C. Okay.
So I don't know.
No,
Or letter
no.
A. Letter D. I don't know. Letter A. All the options.
Okay, man. Okay. Now, in case of letter B, Romário, look at this. That most famous scientists achieved initial recognition while still quite young. The sentence gets incomplete with letter B. Can it fit
Okay.
here? Yes, you can. But in this case, you would have to complete a little more, you know? Uh,
With another sentence.
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Let me take this sentence here just for you to see how it fits better. Oops. Okay, that most scientists achieved initial recognition while still quite young is a famous thing in academic environment. So this here would be part of the subject for this sentence.
Okay.
Okay, so all of this thing would be a subject for another sentence. If you don't have a following sentence, then you get this meaning incomplete. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Now we have letter A and letter C, and one of them is really the correct one. Now look at letter C. Most famous scientists who achieved recognition while still quite young. If we use the relative clause, we still need some completion. Okay, and that's why it's not letter C again. For example, it would make sentence, most famous scientists who achieved initial recognition while still quite young, when they grew old, they had mental problems, for example, you know, so we are completing the idea from the sentence. Now, letter A, dude, is the correct one because most scientists, most famous scientists, achieved initial recognition while still quite young, period, you know.
Yeah.
The sentence is sufficient in itself. Now, there's one catch here, dude. We have two possible sentences and structures we use most. Now, of course, this considering the superlative case, but I show you in superlative case too. We say most banana or the most of cherere. How come? You say most, most, no, wait a second. Let me just put in the sentence because I cannot use the superlative. Okay, most friends I have are Christians. Okay, most friends I have, or the most part, sorry, I forgot to put here. Most part of my friends are Christian. Okay, so dude, what's one of the things they use? They try changing a little these structures here. You know, most friends I have are Christians. Most part of my friends are Christians. You can also say most of, but then you have to change the structure. My friends are Christians. But you see, dudes, that they structure, let me put here 3 because I already put the 3rd one. Because you see, dudes, that the sentence changes a little bit. Most banana, the most part of, or most of. These are the 2 structures we can use. Sometimes they mix these 3 structures in TOEFL Itp. You know?
Okay.
Romário, I need to know, dude, if this is clear for you or if I'm making your head confused.
No, it's clear.
Is it clear? Great. Okay.
When used most. Okay.
Yes. You can say here most famous or most of the famous scientists or the most part of scientists, the most part of famous scientists. Okay.
Okay. Now it's clear. Yes.
Excellent. Dude, number 6.
My career. No. Mango, it's for you. Which are letter B?
Yeah! This is number 7.
Number 7.
Oh, this is crazy.
Oh, that's crazy.
This is
Is
hard. This is hard.
this, yes. Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay, this is pretty hard. Okay. Do you understand prolific? It's like in Portuguese.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yes, yes, I understand.
An artist who prolific. The Canadian composer Barbara Prattman. This sentence here would not make sense. Why? Because this relative clause, it requires some explanation, you know? And this is not explaining, this is presenting.
Okay, yes.
Is a prolific artist? Well, dude, this case is very important. The case, I'm gonna call it the case of letter B. What's the case of letter B? In English, dude, we have two and only two cases in which we invert verb and subject. In the case of Spanish and Portuguese, it's no problem you change the verb from side to side. Quem é você? Quem você é makes not so much of a difference, depending on the context, of course. But in English, it does make a lot of difference. So we just have the two cases in English where we invert the verb. The first case is for questions using modal verbs and verb to be. So if I say, you are my friend, is necessarily an affirmation in formal English. To ask a question, I have to invert. We have to do this inversion, Romário. In
Yes.
English, we have to do this inversion. That happens with can, may, could, should, shall, oops, sorry, shall, might. These are the ones I remember now. Must. But must, it's very uncommon to ask questions using must. Very uncommon. And we have some other modal verbs that I prefer not to show you right now. Only TOEFL ITP shows. Really, dude, because we don't use them anymore. There is another. There is a one that's called ought to. Have you ever heard of this one?
No.
Yeah. So let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about it. Only if TOEFL asks you about it, then I teach you. Because seriously, these are the most important modal verbs. So every case you're going to ask a question using these modal verbs or the verb to be, it is necessary to do this inversion. Of course, with the modal verbs, the verb to be, and let me put it here too, auxiliary verbs.
Okay.
For example, does, have in present perfect, had in past perfect. For example, have you ever gone to Florianopolis? Just as I asked you before. And if I say you have already gone, it's necessarily an affirmation because I have not inverted the subject and the verb. Okay?
Okay.
Yes, great. Okay. Now the second case is a little harder. What's the second case in which we do the inversion of the subject and the verb? When we have an adverbial, let me call it an adverbial crazy expression. What? These adverbial crazy expressions, they generally, but not only, they generally have a negative meaning. What do I mean by this? Not only was I alone this weekend as my internet was not working. Now, dude, check it out. not only was I alone this weekend, I inverted here because not only is an adverbial expression, a negative adverbial expression.
Okay.
Okay, and I have to be honest with you, I don't know by heart all the expressions because they're not many and they're not so common. Parará, parará, parará. Adverbial case of sentence inversions. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's not only negative, but this is a good probably. Good. So you see, dude, that never. Okay, let me give an expression because it's not always that we do the inversion with never. Imagine somebody gets to you and say, "Oh, Mari, never have I seen you so elegant." Okay. Now,
No.
yeah. Now, this is a specific case, Omar. You know, we don't use we don't invert every time we say never. I can say too, I've never watched this film. You know, no problem.
It's normal.
Yeah, it's completely normal. But there is the possibility of using never like this because then you emphasize the negative adverb. Never have I seen you so elegant. Meow. Okay?
Okay.
Now, if you check letter B, is a prolific artist, we just have two options. Either this is a question or we have an adverb before to make the inversion. But we don't have either. It's not a question. And we don't have
So,
any adverb. So letter B is not the case.
okay.
Okay? Prolific, an artist. The Canadian composer. This sentence in itself makes no sense. That's why we cannot fit it here. Now, this is one very uncommon case in English and very common case in ITP that we invert this. We put the subject, make an explanation, and Canadian composer, a prolific art, the Canadian composer Barbara Pentland, and then continue the sentence. You know, so it's letter D. Check if you understand. Try reading with letter D.
Prolific artist, the Canadian composer Barbara wrote 4 symphonies. 3. Yes.
Is it clear for you?
Yes, yes.
Excellent.
It's because the letter A and letter B was like, I don't know.
Yeah. No problem, dude. It's all about practice. All about practice. Okay, now, Romário, I just wanted to show you this part. We're going to continue practicing this later. Just let me show you the reading part. We're not going to practice now. No! Don't look, spiders! Okay, now, dude, I forgot. Deleting them. This is a text, you know, and then you have some questions.
The reading part?
Yes, this is the reading part.
Okay.
Okay? So you see, you're going to have 50 questions and 55 minutes. In my personal opinion, I think the most difficult of TOEFL ITP is the reading comprehension part.
No.
You know? Why do I think it's hard, this one, dude? Because the texts are long.
Yes.
The texts are freaking long. You know? Man, I hate this. Now, you have a lot of questions about the text. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 6 tests, but 4, 5, yeah, just 5 texts, you know? And I think they're kind of hard, to be honest. You know, they're not so easy. And the problem is not the text itself. The problem is the time. So yes, the time is problematic, man. So what is my suggestion for you, Omar? Of course, it depends on how much classes you intend to have. If you want to take your ITP in 1 month, you can have more classes. if you want to take the ITP before, we are going to have less classes. So it depends on how you plan yourself. My
Okay.
suggestion, Romário, is to do that writing part, you know. Maybe the listening too, but the listening, in my opinion, is not so hard. I'm going to show you the listening, of course. And then we also practice this reading. So what do we do in the reading? We practice. I give you some time. I put some time on the screen here, the time, you know. And there is one thing here in Zoom that's very good. Click your mouse, please. Now, you are moving my screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I can leave the control for you, and I do the exercise with you. And when we're finished, I tell you, Romário, this one is right, this is wrong, this is right, this is right, this is wrong. And then you ask me a question. What's Chico? What's I don't know, prodigy? What's this? What's that? I take your questions. If you have any questions about any sentence or anything, I solve your questions, and then we move on. You know.
Okay.
This is my suggestion with you, Roman. Uh, just as I told you, uh, there is a lot you can do by yourself. I cannot lie to
Yes.
you. In ITP situation, some of my students know. I've never had students like some students I know. They studied by themselves. There is an advantage and a disadvantage. What's the advantage? You save time. What's the disadvantage? If you have questions, you have no one to help you. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
so it's your choice. It's your choice.
Mhm.
In TOEFL IBT, you need a teacher. In TOEFL IBT, you need a teacher with you. In TOEFL ITP, oh well, if I show you the listening and you want to do the listening by yourself, great. You know, you already can save time. Listening, I think I'm going to ask you to do by yourself, because unless you have a problem, and then if you start having problems and say, Chica, I believe it's better to study in class, we do together. But
No, I think that listening.
uh,
Yesterday I was listening one podcast, and it was e- uh, easier than reading part. I think.
yeah,
But by myself.
you see that the written part, there is a catch. You know, in some questions, you have a catch. And you need the teacher to tell you, rapaz, this one is wrong because of this, piriri, piriri, pororó, piriri. Okay?
Mhm.
Okay, I'm going to
Okay.
stop here because I need to show you something different.